You have to be real.
I gotta hit the B reel. Sorry, this is a priority.
Okay, go. just making sure we're on the same page.
Take a picture of me.
My first thought was that we persevered and that we definitely had fun, like our cast, even though scheduling was really rough.
Losing the footage was another big thing.
My stress level for the new movie has been way lower than the old movie.
The hardest part is scheduling everyone.
We were all really constrained on time.
About the only other problem we actually really had was like casting. It wasn't really like casting the people or how they like performed or nothing. It was with how many people we had in our original movie.
And then scheduling, set location, anything you can think of.
It's like the audio due to it, like us filming outside and it being windy.
It says Minnesota Chipmunks on it. And it's not like an actual brand or anything, but we just didn't think it fit the character. So we have her like flip the shirt around.
We were having mic difficulties that day, so I was trying to get all the mics to work. And so they were constantly kind of hanging over, just trying to get them to work and sound right.
We went to go reshoot there because we really wanted to improve it, and the sidewalk was completely tore up for construction.
Our first few shots that we did, we really struggled with. We'd never made a film before.
It's like you're holding a nail trying to build a house, and you're building it with 12 other people, and they each take turns hitting the nail with the hammer.
We had to recast like 3 or 4 times. We needed her to cry, and she laughed and she's like, "Yeah, I can't do that." Like, okay, so Tabby went and got eye drops.
And I guess what I'm trying to say is, usually it can go really well, and other times it hurts a lot and it's painful.
But trying to film it so that it still looked good and that Tabby's hands weren't in it.
Every time we did anything remotely serious like that, the entire cast would not stop laughing.
Also, her eyes started to burn as well.
Oh,
She was like, her eyes started getting
We were
red.
like, oh, I'm sorry.
Personally really enjoyed, since we were filming in public, some of the reactions we got from the people that were going around.
A character is being chased and he jumps over this fence, and the take that's in our movie is actually just the first take that we had because we liked it so much.
For the mirror shot in the beginning,
Oh my goodness.
it's like how we got it was us two standing in my grandma's tiny shower.
A lot of the stuff that made it into the film was off script.
It completely stopped and just were staring at us, especially during that screaming shot. That was loud.
When it comes to telling a story like this, it's hard to keep as true to the material as you wanted it to be originally.
We actually have a blooper of the same dog in multiple scenes named Ace, and him and his owner walk there every single day during our film session, so they're probably in the background of most of our films.
Scheduling was a pain in the butt. I know Mrs. Mason said that. I didn't believe her. I should have.
It's definitely a mistake having 6 main characters.
We didn't have any audio, and we didn't realize that until after.
We had to be like laying on the floor on our stomachs with the camera like at her feet.
Editing's not something that you can do in like 10 minutes. Like that takes a lot of time.
That we realized that dialogue really isn't much in our movie. It's more of the actual camera angles.
And another positive thing, in the process of making our movie, we had the feel that we were going for. We had that exactly how we wanted it, like the whole cliche horror movie. So we were really happy about that. Our actors were really good, like by acting wise and everything. And so that made like half of the struggle a lot better.
And like we just always have a good time when filming.
We did have one of our actors for reshoots. She actually colored her hair pink.
The coolest thing with that shot is yesterday when we were being interviewed, the lady actually asked us if it was stock footage.
During the project even, I started like really appreciating movies more so than I have in the past, just because I see how much work goes into it, whether it's from the actors or whether it's actually from everybody behind the scenes.
When we were being interviewed, the lady actually asked us if it was stock footage, like she thought it was stock. So I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool compliment.
Kind of see like the change, so it kind of shows like passage of time. But we were kind of worried about that when we first saw her and she walked up with pink hair for our refilms. We were like, oh no.
I walked up to Tabby and I was like, what do we do? What do we do?
We're grateful for Ian's parents because we were at their house, and on that take, we had some fence. The fence actually kind of broke, so it looks really cool in the shot. It kind of ruined their fence, but they were fine with it. So Thank you.
I figured it'd just be like a pretty easy class, and it was not.
Learned about how much more difficult it is than it
This class,
looks.
I never realized how much editing actually goes into making a film.
This was a bigger project. I've never worked on anything with so many smaller clips and put it into one, so I got a lot of freedom with it, and I feel like I did a pretty good job on the editing side. This man's like an absolute wizard with editing, let me tell you.
I used to think that this probably wouldn't be my favorite class, and I didn't think I'd have fun in it, or that like I'd never get to talk or do like fun stuff. But it's one of my favorite classes now.
But now seeing and going through it and making our own film, I definitely have a lot of respect for them because there are so many factors that go into it that I never would have thought of before.
It's like our cast was definitely still having a good time. We're all still friends, and so they still felt encouraged and worked hard to show up and make it a good filming day for each and every one of us.
Every single one of these groups put in a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication outside of school and in the classroom to making these movies as good as they could be. I just want you guys to really appreciate some of the work that everybody's done here, including us and everybody else. Everybody really did put their blood, sweat, and tears into these movies. I just hope you guys can appreciate them.